Well, when you lose 4 games, but you're in all 4 games, what's the takeaway, plus minus there?
What's the takeaway when you lose 4 games and you're in 4 games?
You're in all 4 of them.
Yeah, you lost 4 games. That's the takeaway.
When you look back on, opportunities that got away, or feel like, hey, this, maybe the feeling of the team changes if you win 2 of them and you come out of it 2-2 rather than 0-4.
Won't know that. Won't know if the feeling changes based off of the results or not. Hopefully we can see that by the end of this weekend. I can tell you the mood and the attitude we felt in the dugout from the starting game until the ending game. And by the ending game, it was exactly what you wanted to look like. The starting game, it wasn't what you wanted it to look like. So hopefully we can answer that question after this weekend more appropriately.
Sorry, did you count on going into the season still feeling like you needed to instill some cultural elements, things like that, like the dugout attitude, things like that?
Oh yeah, I think that's going to be a season process. I don't think that's you're going to kick that in the first weekend or anything like that. I mean, you really are probably going to have a tough time getting it through even by the end of the year entirely. But that's the objective in year 1, is to make sure that if we can, we do get that in all the way and throughout the system to where everybody understands what the expectations are. It'll usually take I've heard it said by one of my mentors, it takes 3 solid years, but let's keep our goal of 1 year.
And what sorts of things, can you describe just an example of 1 or 2 things that you saw Tuesday that you weren't seeing Friday that you liked?
I saw fight all weekend. What I didn't see before Tuesday was a continuous fight. I saw a front-running fight, and on Tuesday I saw a continuous fight.
Encouraged what you saw out of Yovan, even though at least from at the plate.
And on the mound as well. Now his stat line stunk, and he'll tell you that his stat line on the mound stunk. But when his arm strength and his pitches and the feel of the ball and some of the other things that he's bringing to the table showed back up this weekend, even at a better level than we saw in the scrimmages. It's just an indicator that he's progressing, and that's the goal for him right now.
You feel that power. You knew that power was in there, but did you feel like coming out of the start he'd be ready to go and your everyday designated hitter?
Yes.
Yeah. Where's he at in his build in terms of arm strength?
Well, I don't know. That'd be guessing on a percentage. I know back in the past, he was able to touch 95 miles an hour, and he hasn't done that yet. And so he's probably still, maybe 6 weeks or so. If he continues the progression that we've seen now over the last 6 weeks, and continues that exact same progression, it'd probably be about another 6 to 8 weeks.
What do you know about Nevada?
I know they're a scrappy group. I know their coaching staff is a coaching staff that's got a lot of experience. With Troy Buckley as the pitching coach, was the head coach at Long Beach State for some time. T.J. Bruce was one of his players, and dating back to one of the teams we had, at the University of Arizona when we went through the Super Regional at Long Beach State. T.J. Bruce was the second baseman on that team, and so I know their staff real well. They're right-handed starters, 3 right-handed starters. They've got different looks out of the bullpen with sidearm righties, sidearm lefties, and different matchups that can be very, very effective, as we know. And they're a group that's coming off of a rough weekend, and so they're going to be probably hungry to get off to a much better start.
What's the psyche of your starters? Looks like you're sticking with the same 1, 2, 3 guys. What do you tell them coming off last weekend?
They're going to need to get better, or else they're not going to be starters.
As a whole, what's kind of the psyche of this team coming back? When you're 0-4, like I say, you see some positives, but they can get beat up a little bit being 0-4. What do you see out of the attitude-wise?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can get beat up at 0-4, or you can be disguised at 4-0 of a lot of weaknesses and holes in your game. I think this much. I think the record will indicate the level of preparation and specifically the consistency of the quality of preparation we put in on practice days. Our practice days have been inconsistent, and so leading into the first weekend, my expectations were we were going to see an inconsistent 9 innings of play, and it was spot on. And so as our preparation can, whether it's a 2 or a 3 hour day or however long your day is, as that stays consistent, I think you'll start seeing the consistency in a 9 inning or however long you play that day.
You like some of the things you saw out of the bullpen, Bro and Summers in particular?
Yeah, and I love Alstrom's competitiveness. I thought Peyton Fuller, I thought he was competitive at some levels as his start. Hunter Bro, he's never had 1 outing in a Duck uniform, I don't think, that he'd be proud of, and he had 2 outings in a row that you can really be proud of. And for me, it's not a knee-jerk reaction on changing pitching or order, batting order and stuff. I think it's going to be real simple. When there's changes that need to be made because you see a pattern of success or failure, then we'll do it. If it's just a bad moment, it's a bad moment, and there'll be, poise from the staff and understanding. But if there's a pattern of whether it's really good and a guy needs to be moved up in spots, we'll do it. And if it's a pattern of the opposite, then we'll make adjustments and we'll put somebody in there that we feel gives us a better shot.